What is Santa bringing for Christmas? Hopefully it is not food poisoning. Okay, November and December, they are peak months for food poisoning, mostly because people leave food out way too long and they eat leftovers long after they've spoiled. That is why we have Chef Al Romano here joining us today. He's a chef instructor and professor of culinary arts and hospitality management at Guilford Technical Community College. All right, we are ready for you to tell us the ins and the outs of food safety, and we're ready for you to be able to get your questions answered. So this is how you do it at home. You text us that number. It's on your screen right now, 336-379-5775. You know that you can get your questions answered in real time, but those questions are anonymous. All right, first let's do this. What is a good way to tell if food has gone bad? Does the sniff test work?
It works. It works. My biggest thing is when in doubt, throw it out. So if you're not sure if it's good, it smells a little funky, why take a chance? Just get rid of it. You know, it's not worth getting you sick or someone else sick. So that's what I would do. So yes, that does work.
But it may smell okay and taste okay, but sometimes it's still not safe to eat, even if it smells and tastes okay.
Exactly, because you don't know how long something's been left out, if it's been reheated properly. That's really, really important. And there's rules definitely we got to go by.
Okay, and of course we all make a whole bunch of food for the holidays, right? And then we're going to have leftovers. So let's talk about the rules for leftovers.
All right, so where to store it? So it should be, you know, put in the freezer, the refrigerator, right away, as soon as you can, as soon as it cools down to about room temperature. You don't want to leave it out all day, then put it away. That's the biggest mistake people make. So, you know, put it away as soon as you can, but, you know, try to cool it down. If you got something big like a turkey or anything big, cut it and bring it in smaller portions. If you have like a pot of soup, put it in smaller containers. That'll cool a lot quicker. That's the best way to do it. And you want to store in like sealable, like Tupperwares or plastic containers is good. Even stainless steel. You don't want to store it in aluminum or anything like that because it'll oxidize and it'll make the food. Actually, it'll give you food poisoning.
Ooh, okay, good to know.
Yeah, so don't store in aluminum. When to store it, again, is incorrect to store it, you know, right into the refrigerator from being really super hot. You don't. I don't do that. I let it cool a little bit. Ice it down if you can, because if you put everything hot in your fridge, your refrigerator is going to go up above temperature. Your refrigerator should always be below 41 degrees. So keep it at that. So cool it down a little bit if you have to before you put it in.
But not for hours at a time.
No. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then defrosting. There's basically a couple of ways of defrosting, but the best way is if you want to take something out of the fridge, out of the freezer, put it in the refrigerator the night before or 2 days before. Let it slowly defrost because a lot of people take stuff and put it out on the counter, and that's not a good idea. Because the stuff on the outside defrosts, but the inside is still not, and bacteria grows on it really, really quick. So just defrost it. If you have to put it in running water, that's okay. Mm-hmm. Some people put it in the microwave, only if you're going to cook it right away. But don't put it in the microwave, then stick it out.
All right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about one of the trickiest foods to save and reheat. So let's put up that graphic. Folks at home, I want you to guess. What is one of the trickiest leftovers to save and reheat? All right, Chef Romano, what is it?
I'm going to say rice.
Okay, that seems so bland to me. I don't even understand how that could be a tricky leftover. What is the issue with that?
Well, for rice, when it's dry, it can stay forever, pretty much. It'll stay for a year in the storeroom. But once you add water to it and it's been cooked, because it's from the ground, it's basically when you cook it, you have and you cool it a little. Actually, don't even cool it. It'll sit. You have all that bacteria growing. It basically like it incubates right in that rice. So it's really, really important when you reheat rice to cook it to 165, or when you cook and cool it down before you put it away. Because if you put it away hot, the middle's again going to stay hot. The outside's going to get cool, and that's when your bacteria is still going to grow. So
okay, and I'm reheating my rice in the microwave.
All right, so put it in there for a little bit, stir it up again, but heat it to always, temp it before you try it. Just because it feels hot, it feels good, doesn't mean it's cooked to temperature. 165 will kill just about any type of bacteria.
Okay.
So just like 140 degrees, just warming it up, no, ain't gonna do it.
Okay, so let's talk about this. When do leftovers need to be refrigerated? Because we're going to leave food out so that people can graze and do their stuff. So when do they need to be refrigerated?
You have a 2-hour rule usually. So the time, say you out a pot of soup or something, so you want it to cool down, and you got up to 2 hours. I wouldn't let it go more than 2 hours to get about 70 degrees. Then from 70 degrees, you got 4 hours to get down to below 41 degrees. So you have a total of a 6-hour window to get it from the time from cooking it to the time to cooling it below 41 degrees. So that's your window. So how you get there doesn't matter, as long as you get it below 41 within that time.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. We're going to take a quick break, and we've got several text questions. We're going to be getting to your questions when we come back.